In the world of Naoki Urasawa's monsters, there are many mysteries, but at the heart of it, there lies a children's picture book which is full of darkness. It's called The Nameless Monster, and it's one of the most brilliant and unsettling narrative devices in all of fiction. We're not going to read the storybook today. Instead, we are going to talk about why it exists. Why did Urasawa create a dark fairy tale within his thriller, and what makes this seemingly simple book so special and so profoundly terrifying? So first, let's talk about the meaning. At its core, The Nameless Monster is a psychological blueprint for Johan Liebert. The story isn't just a metaphor, it's a direct explanation of his entire being. The monster's desperate search for a name is Johan's own search for an identity. Having been subjected to experimental design to erase his very self, Johan is a void. He feels nothing. To fill this emptiness, the monster in the story literally consumes people. The blacksmith, Otto, the prince, and his court to take their names and their strengths. This is exactly what Johan does. He doesn't just manipulate people, he absorbs and erases their identities, their lives, and their futures to try and build something for himself. But the story's tragic ending is the key. After consuming his other half, the monster finally has a name, but there's no one left to call him by it. This is the ultimate expression of Johan's nihilism. He achieves his goal only to find himself completely and utterly alone in a world he has emptied. The story tells us that Johan's path, his entire existence, is a journey towards perfect, absolute loneliness. From a writing perspective, the storybook is a genius move. It serves as a narrative skeleton key. Instead of dumping Johan's backstory and complex psychology on us through a clunky monologue, Urasawa gives us this fable. It's a piece of the puzzle that we, along with the other characters, must find out. It's a recurring motif that connects different storylines and characters who have been touched by the same darkness. When a character finds this book, they find a piece of Johan himself. It allows the story to communicate its darkest themes through symbolism and art, making the discovery of Johan's nature an interactive and chilling experience for the viewers. So what makes a simple picture book so dark? The horror comes from seeing themes of existential dread, cannibalism, and identity loss presented in the incorrect format of a children's storybook. The simple, almost cheerful language munch munch, chomp chomp, gobble gobble, gulp used to describe such a horrific act of consumption is deeply unsettling. This mirrors Johan perfectly. He is a savage monster hiding behind a beautiful, charming, and innocent-looking face. The book is the perseverance of childhood, and Johan is the product of that perseverance. It tells us that his monologistically began in a place where innocence is supposed to be protected, not destroyed. What makes it so special? Ultimately, the Nameless Monster is special because it's not just a symbol. It's an in-universe artificial that drives the plot. It's a physical clue that connects the past to the present. The mystery of who wrote it and for what purpose becomes a central thread in the wider narrative. By weaving a story within a story, Urasawa adds a layer of dark mythology to his realistic thriller. It elevates monster from a simple cat and mouse game to a profound exploration of identity, drama, and the origins of evil. It is, without a doubt, one of the greatest narrative tools ever used in this medium. That story isn't just a fairy tale told within the world of Naoki Urasawa's monster. It's a key, it's the blueprint for understanding one of the most flawlessly written, terrifying, and compelling antagonists ever put to paper, Johan Liebert. Johan isn't a villain who wants to conquer the world. He isn't seeking power or riches. Johan is a psychological black hole, a man whose ultimate goal is to prove one simple, terrifying point. The only thing all people are equal in is death. He is the ultimate nihilist, and he wasn't born a monster, he was created. Now, what is the philosophy of nothingness? Unlike so many antagonists in fiction, Johan's power isn't supernatural. He can't level cities on fire or even throw energy beams. His weapon is far more intimate and terrifying. His words or his vocal cords. He is a master of the human psyche. He can look into the darkest corners of your heart, find the despair you hidden away, and give it a voice. He doesn't force people to his bidding. He simply convicts them that it was their idea all along. He embodies a terrifying idea that humanity, stripped of its laws and morals, is inherently self-destructive. He is a ghost in the machine of society, a whisper that corrupts from the inside out. He doesn't see himself as a Nazi or a perfect soldier or a new leader of humanity. That's a label others put on him. In his own words, he could be considered the truest form of an egalitarian. It means he hates everyone equally. He is a structurally perfect antagonist. The entire story of Monster is a ripple effect from a single choice. Dr. Tenma chooses to save a young Johan's life. Every character, every plot point, every tragedy is a direct or indirect consequence of Johan's existence and action. The protagonist, Dr. Tenma, doesn't act. He reacts to the trail of bodies and chaos Johan leaves behind. He is the perfect foil. The dynamic between Tenma and Johan is the heart of the series. Tenma's core belief is that all lives are equal, a philosophy that drove him to save Johan in the first place. Johan takes the same philosophy and twists it into its darkest possible conclusion. If all lives are equal, then they are all equally worthless. One is a healer who values life above all. The other is a void that seeks to erase it. It's a conflict of ideals that is far more compelling than any physical fight. And that's what makes him so horrifying. He isn't an alien, a demon, or a god. He's just a human being. His evil is not a fantasy. It's a reflection of the potential for darkness that exists within humanity itself, nurtured by trauma and cruelty. His existence makes you question the world around you. The tragedy of the monster. But for all his horrific acts, there's a profound layer of tragedy to Johan. As we uncover his past, we realize this monster is a child who endured psychological horrors that are almost unimaginable. He is the end product of a cruel experiment designed to erase identity and empathy. This doesn't excuse his action, but it provides a heartbreaking context. You feel a deep sense of pity for the little boy who was lost, the boy who has his identity fractured and stolen. You are left wondering what he could have been if he had been shown love instead of being subjected to the worst humanity has to offer. When he walks, death follows, but it's a death that began with the death of his own soul as a child. The perfect ending. It has some spoilers, so be warned. Johan's end goal was never just to die, but to be erased in the perfect suicide. To die leaving no traces, no memory, nothing. He orchestrates a final chaotic masterpiece to prove his nihilistic point to Tenma. He wants Tenma, the man who gave him his life, to be the one to take it away, thus validating his belief in the monster inside everyone. But Tenma refuses. He holds fast to his ideals. And in the ultimate irony, Johan's grand plan, this perfectly controlled scenario, is shattered by a random act of chaos. A drunk father shooting him to save his own child. The monster manipulator, the man who seemed to control fate itself, was undone by a variable he couldn't account for. He survives only to disappear from his hospital bed in the final scene, leaving us with a haunting question: is the monster gone, or has he simply become nameless once more, ready to walk the earth as a ghost? It's a poetic, unsettling, and absolutely perfect resolution for a character who represents an idea more than a man. In the pantheon of great antagonists, the Griffiths, the Jokers, the Anton Chirings, Johan Liebert stands alone. He is not just a character, he is a force of nature, a meticulously crafted exploration of nihilism, drama, and the very nature of evil. He is proof that the greatest monsters aren't the one with fangs or claws, but the ones who looks just like us. So, what do you guys think? Is Johan Liebert the greatest antagonist in anime and manga, or all of fiction? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you haven't read or watched Monster yet, I truly hope this motivates you to experience this masterpiece for yourself. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell notification so when I review another masterpiece, you are the first in the list to watch it. And have a great day. Goodbye. Peace out, guys.